So now we just have to paint the dinghy, and I use this product by Inland Marine. That's a one part. It's called topside paint, and we're going to paint the dinghy. So let's get going. Okay, so now we're going to paint this. I did not tape it off. Remember, it's an old dinghy, so when I dip the brush, I wipe off one side, leave a little paint on the other. That helps to give you a cleaner application. And then I will, if I can switch this. So I'll come along here, and I'll just draw it right along the edge like that, nice and easy. And then I'll come back. And this is, because it's an old dinghy, if it were brand new, I'd probably tape it off, but it takes longer to tape than it does to paint. And there's some other projects that need to be done, so I'm going to move right along, and we'll dip this just like that, and then I'll wipe off this excess just like this. You have to mix this up real well, and I brush these seams. These are overlay patches that are for abrasion anyway, and you can see where I had the abrasion back here. I've coated extra, and I'll let that dry, and then I'll put some more coats on it. And then we'll come along this edge here, same way. Just wanted to get a close-up. So along here, where you can get abrasion or separation, we're just kind of coating it very thick right there. A little back and forth, and then brush it in line with the way the water's going to go. I had a friend of mine that anytime he got the itch to buy a new car, he'd take his car out and have it fully detailed or repainted or something like that. And he wound up keeping his cars forever, but they looked beautiful because every time he thought he wanted a new car, he'd just go clean up the one he had. And I guess I'm kind of doing that with this. This front patch was just a piece of heavy canvas that, because you bang into the piers or you bang into the beach and it gets all scuffed up, and that it's not water resistant, not waterproof, but when you put the glue on, the glue soaks through the fabric, so it really gives you a superior bond. And now that it's painted, you won't be able to tell that it wasn't supposed to be there in the first place, but it's just like adding a little extra bumper guard. You can see where it's scuffed up. I was just worried that I'd wear through the rubber and it would be a place where it would leak. And on these fine edges, you just can turn the brush sideways and cut like that, and it gives you a nice clean line. Most people know that. It's going to come out very nice. You can see where it's the paint, it's soaking through the fabric, which is good. That's what you want. You want to saturate, soak it up, and then it'll dry, and it becomes part of the fabric. I'm going to bring you around so you can see the good part where we paint where the repair was. Let's see if we can get a good shot back here. So this, as bad as it looks, it's all glue, and it's been sanded and roughed up as much as possible. And this is the fun part, get this all coated up. And this basically, it's like putting another coat of rubber on top, and obviously it absorbs really well if it's lasted 3 years. I really had hoped it would last at least a year. And Maya made us a set of chaps, which are these canvas that go on the top, and all that really does is it protects it against sunlight. And she made that out of some leftover canvas that some friends gave us. She can make anything out of anything, and it's lasted all this long. She'd never made one before, and she did a really good job. I wish we had our channel then. But she'll be making, I'm going to try and convince her to make us a new set when we get a new dinghy. And we'll show how that's made, because she made them from scratch. She didn't use a pattern or anything. She just literally laid the material on here, made a few marks here and there, and then next thing I know, bam, she was done. I mean, she put a lot of hours into it, probably. I don't know if it was a whole week, but it was at least 3 or 4 solid days, probably 5. If she were here, she would tell us. It was a lot of hours, and it looked beautiful, and people would come up and compliment her, and they didn't realize she had made it all from scratch. Yeah, this is looking, look at that. It just coats it. It'll dry, we'll get another coat on it. I don't know if I can do a coat today. It's very humid, and this is a water-based paint, so the less the humidity, the quicker the actual full cure time is. So, and like I said, if this were newer, like probably when we buy a new one, I will coat the new dinghy right off the bat with this stuff, just as protection. And I'll tape it, but because this is so, I don't know how old this thing is. It might be 15 or 20 years old, but it's been a workhorse for us. And like I said before, this is your car. If you don't have a dinghy, man, you are in real trouble, because you just can't go to marinas everywhere. And sometimes a lot of times you have to get off the boat somewhere. You're not going to swim to shore. Funny, it makes it look almost like it's, well, not brand new, but certainly looks a lot better than it came in here. And this poor dinghy, I mean, we just, we just use it. But it's an AB, and I'm really thrilled with the quality. And there's a lot of good ones out there. This is just one of the very good ones. And some people will use the PVC dinghies, but my experience is the material's not as durable as the Hypalon. And the Hypalon is this impregnated fabric that they have. Really nice. Really, really nice. There's a scuff mark here, so I'm putting on a little bit thicker, and then I'll put another coat on as well. Yeah. I'm going to bring you back up front. So there's where the patch was, and that turned out pretty nice. And then this is a scuff pad here. And this is another scuff pad, I think, that goes on top. So it worked out pretty well. Then we just have this little section here to do. See, we've only used like maybe not even a quarter of this can to coat this side. Now, if I painted the other side, it would use a lot more, but because it's been covered for 3 years, it doesn't need any touch up at all. Because this, when it's hanging from the davits, is exposed to the sunlight that reflects off the water mostly. So that's why a lot of the new solar panels are bifacial, because we get so much reflective light back up at the boat that these bifacial reflective panel or bifacial solar panels are very effective. Now, obviously, you have to install those. You have to install those solar panels so that the light will actually hit them. You can't just put them with a couple inches of clearance, you know, on top of an awning or something like that, and expect to have any decent work. It's turning out nice. Very nice. Like I said in one of the other videos, it's typically 85% work and 15% fun. But if you can, you know, that old saying, whistle while you work, if you can turn this part into some fun, then maybe it's 20 or 25% fun. But I will say, if you're going to cruise, you really need to like to work on stuff, because you always have to work on stuff, and there's not always people available to do the work for you. So being handy is very important for anybody that's on the boat. Oh, we're getting a little bit of sprinkles. I'm going to put some more of this thing. Really soaked up the paint here. Oh, that's it. Just like I said before in one of the other videos, that rain comes. So we've got a few rain spots on this. I'm hoping that hopefully it'll be dry enough that it won't, if it rains, it won't really bother this too much. Okay, one more little trick. These paint cans, you get the paint that winds up sticking in here, and you can take your brush and wipe it around and get most of it off, but then see this little holes? If I had this little punch here, I should use both hands, but it'll punch the holes, and then any excess paint will drip down through there, so when you go to reuse it, it's easier to pop off. So just a little trick. Okay, now we're all done. If you liked it, if you would give us a click the like button and subscribe. Next time, I think we're going to take a break and go explore the jungle. Thank you.